Guys, hello everybody, Mike's here. We're here at this little hot day in Buffalo, and it's time for another episode of Real Talk. This is where I could just walk around, all around right here, and then I can talk whatever I want to talk, giving those certain topics, anything. It's basically I just had to talk whatever I want to talk, just like spinning something out. And I wanted to have to do this because you have to get me something to enjoy. Full of some craziness, talking about stuff, all the stuff that you might be wanting to get to know a little bit. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Shall we? In this crazy episode of Real Talk, and I just let you guys know that I have been a blast for the whole month, because I know I've just been enjoying my life as being a senior in high school. It's just been myself in a long time, but it's just been a while right now, and I finally made it. I felt like I'm very close to finishing up this whole chapter, and then everything's going to be changed just about one snap, and it will change the whole thing, because when I go to college, it's going to be very different, and I had to do something very different on that new chapter of my life, because I hadn't been doing that in a while, but I had to face some, paying something, just finding a work for myself, having first time going to work, and then just do whatever I want to do, right? Like writing fan fictions, and this one, creating my YouTube channel. I haven't get to know myself better, because just me walking around. It's been a good day. I just always kept waiting. And around me in Buffalo, yeah, it's well fresh and refined. And all around here, and this cars is just running around. So it's all very nice. Look at this is where the intersection of G Haven and Edgar Road, because that's right here. That's the intersection. Oh. Suddenly feel like I have to stop just to keep walking. I just have to be careful all around the cars and stuff, because you never know when they're gonna hit. And I've been doing that for a lot of times. Well, here we are, just sit here and talk. No, I just have the moments up in time that there is a ton of stress in the past year, and in my past years before in high school. I do have a stress and I need to deal with, because I had to be wandering around, had to be things. But we had to finish the work, and then I had to deal with stress, because there's going to be a lot of much work. But now, all my stress is over. Everything seems so settled for now. I have been settling myself for me and for myself. I have been settled already for past years, and I just took a little effort for it, and I did it. I just made it accomplished. I just reached the goal, and hopefully I could get through this, and then we'll have some fun. We're just gonna talk around, and sometimes we could play around or whatnot. It's all there. We're just here to have fun in the summer now, because we're about to be close, and we're in spring, and all the leaves here are growing. As what did you think? Relaxing, because I've been talking about that in a while. Okay, just keep calm myself down, try to relax. I'm free for anything. I felt free, but it's not free yet, because I just done something I can feel whatever I want to feel, and that's how the sound of a quiet neighborhood. If everything seems quiet, that's what it this. I could tell myself I could just do whatever I want. I just had to let into that little app. And I just had been talking to myself for a while, and I hadn't been a little bit of talking about myself because I don't want to be just a narcissist guy or something. So I bet that maybe people have dealing with anxiety or stress because that might be going down, and I too have that kind of anxiety here. I had to deal with anxiety. I had to do like a mental thinking that, hey, I'm afraid don't deal with something that you don't want to trust. If you don't want to trust people, fine, don't trust people, because they might as well pull their trick up on their sleeves, and that might destroy that thing of who to trust. Because I don't care how they're gonna do. Just do what they're doing and don't interact with each other. God, I'm just so sweaty today. And the way the temperature right now is about like 70 degrees. It's so hot out. Maybe the air right here could just a little bit of cool. Just really cooling myself down. When that little heat exhausted, it's just so hot and I get irritated for it. If I get exposed to too much heat, I just had to like rest for a second. I just had to cool down because that temperature is so hot. I just can't do it. I just had to like sit down and just wait until it cool down, because that temperature in Florida, I had that little heat exposure before, and I was so tired. I can't stand. I can't even take it anymore. I'm tired. I just need to cool myself down. And I just took off my shirt and just drain all that little heat, and then feel like I'm just relaxed. But I'm still like feeling like heading and getting a little dizzy, and I don't know what I don't know where my head's at. I just keep myself confused. In the Philippines, it's totally different because it made hotter temperatures on that area. It's just kind of a little close. But you know, if you look in the Philippines there, the equator, they're right close into it. It's just about very hottest temperature find on the equator, because you know, I already learned myself about the Earth. Because if it's equator, if you go close to the equator, it gets hot. Goes to the north or your south equator, it'll get colder. And I've studied that since 11th grade. And it's not pretty bad. But I know people have been taught about a lot of things and great experiences about my school, because I started out my school in Olmsted in 2015, right after I went to iPrep, because I've been doing iPrep since the elementary all the way to 9th grade, because in 2015 I decided that I need to move somewhere, because now that I live right there on the Agate Road, I had to move somewhere that's right close to us. And we found Olmsted that's right near our house. Oh god, there's a lot of bees here. And yeah, I've been settling myself in that one for almost 5 years. And we might have a plan to move somewhere, because I mean, moving is another way that I could just somewhere, and that's the only thing I could do, just to be selling. I know it sounds really sucks, but I just had to do the right thing. If I could feel like I had to move somewhere, I can move somewhere and I can do whatever I wanted to do. I just had to be precise. I had to be decisive. I want to decide something, if I should move somewhere or not, depending on how much rent they're gonna pay, how much what's the condition about the place, is there any like distractions or disturbance that might give you a little headache or migraine. Yeah, that I had to put that myself, and I wanted to make a decision. If anything goes not as planned as what it was, I had to move somewhere. I'm gonna find a place that I could settle And then just to calm down and start there. And that is why I wanted to put myself thinking about what I want to do after high school, because going to college now, it's totally a different thing. It's different now, and you'll be wandering around going somewhere and have no idea where am I going. But either way, I just had to think about it. I wanted to where I could go, because I don't know, it's so hard. It's gonna be a tough one. Please hurry up already. Well, not really, I'm on the sidewalk. You all see if there's like a huge traffic going on right there. Fancy cars chasing around. But highways, there's like the highways right there. When you drive something, when it's the first time you're gonna drive, you're gonna have to drive somewhere safe, like crossing or gridded ones. But the cul-de-sac, it's terrible, and it will just cost you a lot of damage. It will harm you. There's a lot of damages that you could just hit yourself with. And when the first time when you're going riding yourself in the car, and just had to ride going somewhere, know where your brakes at, know where you're going. It's just going some places, and don't forget your flickers, don't forget to check your mirrors. It's all that, but I just had to take a mental note. I just had to think about what doing and what is good and what something is bad. Well, my mom had now a driver's license, and she had to remember how to drive. She had to moderate your driving, okay? Just be careful where you're going, because sometimes you may you may hit with somebody, you may crash on that little post. It was just a little accident. It was gonna cost somebody to pay the rent, or to pay that little insurance for it, and that hurt. It's just hitting it. So please don't do that. Okay, because this just had to take a mental note. But I just had to, because if I feel like I'm ready to drive, I had to make sure that I need to practice. I had to make sure that, hey, I had to practice. I know where I'm going to drive, what should I want to do driving. Had to make a 3-point turn, because I've seen so many times my mom had to use the 3-point turn for many years, because I seen that, because I took a lot of mental notes for it, and I took a lot of things in my head that I had to remind myself on where to drive, when I want to drive. Even when I had to use that car right there, I had to use it as like I was driving a steering wheel. That's just like that, and I had that, and just had to put myself, and I think of it as pushing something, pushing something is like your accelerator. When you stop walking, that means you hit the brake, and then just had to use the speed. You just use your speed, use your any kind of speed you want. You want the moderate speed. You have to keep yourself easy, or slow driving. If you struggling slow driving, you're a very slow driver, but you have to keep it up a little bit. If you're confident enough to drive something, if you're a professional at it, try to be as professional as possible, because doing this isn't easy. And I had to be telling you all about this, because driving yourself around right here, it will make it a little bit of struggling, because it's not good. Just had the key to learn yourself how to drive. And when it comes to the driving school, yeah, they might test you out, and if you have a driver's test, you gotta be you gotta be careful on why you're driving, because if you did something wrong, they're gonna add your points. Because if you have surpassed all most points, your goal is to get as low points as possible. Try to be ease on that little steering wheel. Try to be ease on where your parking, where your reverse, where your neutral, where your gear 1, gear 2, all the stuff. And whatever you choose in the car, you had to feel like which one's most comfortable. And then just think about where you want to put it. When you parking somewhere, because parallel parking, that's just to be a little bit difficult right there, because parking it, and then the 3-point turn, oof, that be precise, because you have to do a 3-point turn, and when you 3-point turn, you're gonna have to drive like that. If you're not comfortable with driving, please just don't drive. You're gonna have to, like, okay, just don't drive. You're just gonna either walk yourself to somewhere or take transportation, like NFTA, because they are bus stop training here. Yeah, I haven't just talking about myself. When you are some kind of personalities that you have been asking, if you are going to take the personality test there, like Brad Myers or anything, it doesn't work, because what your personality are, it's just what you are. Don't think about it as you're introvert or extrovert. It doesn't make sense. Because when you have your own personality, when you have your own lifestyle, just think of it as like when you're gonna be someone. You're gonna be just you. Just you be you. You becoming you. And me becoming me. You just have to try to be just putting yourself into the limit, because being yourself is just, you can just do whatever you want. You could just make yourself comfortable and try to be put as much as possible that you have your own personality. Because whatever your personality at, I have no idea. We don't know what your personalities are. It's just blacked out. It is unknown. You cannot just reveal everything about your personality, about any kind of type of personality. My personality, I'm just gonna sip it. We'll sip my mouth. Just gonna zip my mouth and I'm just gonna shut myself up. Okay, don't put it into that little situation. I'm just talking about your personalities or something. Yeah, it doesn't work. I just had to feel like when I have my personal experiences, I feel like my experiences of around me and you, as any kind of experiences that you have done as well before, or you have put in yourself now, it was you. You have so much experiences than what you really are. I mean, you guys have so much experiences. You have a lot of experiences to go to, either whether it's good or bad. You're gonna have to deal with it, and then you could tell somebody to have that story about your experiences, on whether you're going to experience, for example, like having experiences in the United States. The first time experiences in the United States, I was about like 11 years old. It's like, this is the first time I had in the United States, and I don't know what they are doing. And I don't even know what they are trying to make. And I feel like this is the first time that I hadn't even getting myself to the United States. But for the sake of it, I do have a lot of experiences right now than it was before, because I hadn't thinking about myself. Just going somewhere that hadn't been experienced, or sometimes knowing the history of it, and just getting myself, letting know what I was seeing, getting to know what did they have that the Philippines don't have. It's all comparisons, and if there's any kind of like exciting adventures or experiencing exploring anywhere it is that hadn't been discovered yet, it hadn't been found, every single one of it. And then when you driving around, you've been looking around, and you just come out and looking somewhere places that's quite often to you. And you already know about it. You already know about, and I said, you already know about this area. Me, I already know about this place. Buffalo? Yeah. I have been going around, I have been looking all around from left to right, from north to south, east, west, wherever I was going. I knew around Buffalo. But there are some places that I hadn't been recognized with, because there are like shortcuts that it might lead to that place. And I mean, living in the United States, I feel like this is gonna be my home. It feels like my home, but I don't know where the past of my living in the Philippines is just being overwhelmed. But the United States, this is so different, and it kind of feels like this is my home to me. So I love this place. I do. Okay, guys, that is the end of it. I am finished now. Around in here, and I'm so tired, and it's getting a little hotter than it was before. It's pretty weird. Okay, guys, that is the end of another episode of Real Talk. See you guys next time on the next video. Alright, guys, goodbye, everybody.